No more hidden charges for airfares from June 1st. High Court rules Datin Sri Rosma Manso must declare her property acquisition. And Theresa May to resign as British Prime Minister on June 7th. Assalamualaikum. We begin 7 Edition with this story. From June 1st, all airlines must disclose the final price of airfares to travellers, both at the point of advertisement and when purchasing flight tickets. The Malaysian Aviation Commission, MAVCOM, said this today as the updated Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code, MACPC, now requires airlines to publish the final price of airfare for flight tickets. According to MAVCOM, if airlines fail to heed the regulation, they will be slapped with penalties.
Ya, kalau ada breach of any code, dia ada financial penalty sehingga 200,000 ringgit per offence.
Kepada syarikat penerbangan dan lapangan terbang.
The announcement on the new regulation was made today at the official launch of MAVCOM's Fly Smart mobile application, a consumer-centric initiative by Deputy Transport Minister Datuk Kamarudin Jaafar. Also effective June 1st, refunds on flight tickets should be reimbursed to passengers within 30 days from the date the passenger requests for a refund. And if the ticket is purchased through a travel agent, the airline should reimburse the travel agent within the same period. The amendments also include a refund to consumers on passenger service charges, taxes, fees, as well as charges prescribed under any written law for both refundable and non-refundable tickets should a passenger not travel. Meanwhile, the Transport Ministry also said today that there will be no ceiling price for domestic airfare tickets during the festive season. Despite that, its Minister, Anthony Loke Siu Fook, said his ministry will continue to monitor this situation closely.
Saya tahu bahawa ada pelbagai saranan untuk kita meletakkan harga siling. Kita dah bincang perkara ini. Saya dah nyatakan berkali-kali kepada media. Kalau kita mengambil langkah tersebut, syarikat-syarikat penerbangan ini akan menaikkan harga mereka pada hari biasa. Maka mungkin untuk hari perayaan kita akan ada satu harga yang lebih tetap ataupun harga siling. Tetapi ini akan memberikan kesan kepada hari-hari biasa. Dari keseluruhannya, dari hari kebiasaannya, mereka akan meningkatkan harga purata mereka. Ini yang kita telah bincang panjang dan kajian telah dibuat oleh pihak MAVCOM dan kita telah mengambil pendekatan bahawa kita minta dulu syarikat penerbangan tambah bilangan penerbangan, tambah flight. Kita tak letakkan harga siling tetapi kita tambah bilangan penerbangan supaya purata harga itu dapat diturunkan.
Loke also explains to the media that airlines do have a fixed rate to certain destinations and the increase in flight tickets is due to market forces. He was met earlier when launching a new express bus at the Tasik Selatan Integrated Terminal TBS in Kuala Lumpur. According to the minister, the new service will offer RM10 discounts to travellers from Klang Valley to Kota Baru, Kelantan. Meanwhile, Loke also confirmed that the stage bus, which was involved in an accident killing a student in Negeri Sembilan yesterday, was not speeding. The minister said the bus was travelling at 35 kilometres per hour when it collided with the sports utility vehicle along the Kuala Kelawang Seremban stretch near Bukit Putus. He told the media today that although the bus was driven at normal speed, probe on the fatal accident will continue.
So usually what we will do is that, number one, of course, MIROS will get involved. MIROS will get involved. MIROS will be deployed to do the investigation. Of course, any accident happen, it is the police responsibility to conduct the investigation, but MIROS will do the technical investigation to see what is the cause of the accident. And on the APAD, we will immediately conduct an audit, safety audit, to the bus operator. so that concurrently there are few actions to be taken.
Preliminary probe showed that the bus driver lost control of the vehicle in the 3:45 p.m. accident and ploughed into trees along the road shoulder. At the site of the accident, 17-year-old Muhammad Firdaus Sharul Azam succumbed to his injuries. The Inspector General of Police today guaranteed the safety of fugitive businessman Lau Tek Jo, or better known as Jolo, and his family if he returns to the country. Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid Badu said since Jolo has claimed innocence in the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal, he should return to Malaysia to assist the ongoing investigations into the case.
Saya akan berikan jaminan ke atas keselamatan dirinya. Kalau beliau ataupun mereka rasa tidak bersalah, balik hadapi proses undang-undang negara ini. Saya memberikan jaminan ke atas keselamatan diri. Jangan mengeluarkan statement daripada jauh menggunakan peguamnya, menidakkan itu, menafikan ini. Kenapa tidak dia sendiri balik? Saya berikan jaminan, jaminan keselamatan pada dirinya, pada keluarganya. Hadapi proses undang-undang.
At a media conference in Kuala Lumpur today, Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid added while the investigations into the 1MDB scandal was ongoing, his main focus was to bring Jolo and his 6 right-hand men out from hiding. When asked if it would be possible for police to repatriate Jolo, who is believed to be hiding in China, out of the country, the IGP said police can invoke the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act and seek assistance. Meanwhile, the top cop today also announced that officers and policemen who reject bribery will be given a letter of appreciation and immediate promotion. In disclosing this, Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid at the same time warned his men to terminate their ties with gambling and vice syndicates before they are subjected to any action.
Saya telah memberikan nasihat dan juga kata dua amaran kepada pegawai untuk memutuskan juga apa juga connection hubungan mereka dengan sindiket ini. Sebelum terlambat, semuanya belum terlambat. Selagi kita belum pakai baju orange tu, sama ada di bawah SPRM dengan tangan bergari, itu maknanya belum terlambat. Kita patah balik.
Commenting on the crimes committed by irresponsible officers and policemen, he said it was a sad thing to happen during the month of Ramadan. However, the quick action by the Criminal Investigation Department gives a clear message that criminal conduct by officers and policemen will not be taken lightly. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has ordered Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor to abide by a notice requiring her to declare her property acquisitions as part of investigations into alleged money laundering activities. Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan said this after dismissing her application to set aside the notice under the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds from Unlawful Activities Act. Zaini, in his judgment, said the applicant's argument that she would be precluded from a right to fair trial was speculative and without merit. He pointed out that the order was to assist the prosecution in the money laundering trial. The judge also said revealing one's assets does not predicate guilt against the accused. The court, however, said that Sri Rosmah's right to silence and privilege against self-incrimination would be accorded to her during the trial. On October 4th last year, the wife of former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak claimed trial to 12 counts of money laundering involving 7 million ringgit and 5 other counts for failing to declare her income to the Inland Revenue Board. The Kuala Lumpur High Court today ordered a warrant of arrest to be issued against former Malaysian External Intelligence Office MEIO Director General Datuk Hassanah Abdul Hamid. The order was issued by Judge Colin Lawrence Sequeira as Datuk Hassanah had again failed to attend case management of the 50.4 million ringgit criminal breach of trust CBT charges against her. Sequeira said June 26 for mention of the warrant and a notice to be issued to the new guarantors. On October 25th, Datuk Hassanah was charged with committing CBT in her capacity as a civil servant, that is, as the Director General of Research at the Prime Minister's Department. She was alleged to have taken 50.4 million ringgit belonging to the government on April 30th and May 9th from her office in the Prime Minister's department. The charges were filed under the Penal Code, which carries a maximum 20 years jail, whipping and fine upon conviction. A pasar malam trader was charged in the Kanga Sessions Court for allegedly setting a government official car used by Perlis Mufti Dr. Muhammad Asri Zainul Abidin on fire. 36-year-old Muhammad Azimar Abdul Razak was accused of committing the offence at the Mufti's home in Kanga together with several others on May 22nd. The offence for arson is punishable under the Penal Code, which provides a jail sentence of up to 14 years and a fine if proven guilty. It was also reported that the accused was paid 500 ringgit to torch the Honda Accord car. Judge Ainul Sharin Muhammad granted bail at 8,000 ringgit and set July 2nd for remention. In Pahang, a driver was today hauled to the Kuantan Magistrates Court on multiple counts for misusing his company's petrol indent card for cash, while his friend was charged with abetment in committing the crime. Manjit Singh and G. Subramaniam were both charged with 11 counts of dishonest misappropriation of the company's petrol card to obtain over 5,000 ringgit between April 1st and May 5th this year. They allegedly committed these offences at several petrol stations around Kuantan. The charge under the Penal Code provides for a maximum jail term of 5 years and fine, as well as whipping if found guilty. The court allowed bail at 31,500 ringgit for each accused and set June 12 for remention of the case. When we return, Game of Thrones soundtracks with traditional twists. Details next. I'm Ras Adiba Radzi. You're still with us on 7Edition. In Perak, a human trafficking syndicate operating in Pangkalan Hulu, Perak and Betong, Thailand, was crippled after the Immigration Department detained 3 family members who were the syndicate's masterminds, as well as 3 policemen. The suspects were believed to have been smuggling Indian nationals to Europe and had been active for 10 years now. State Immigration Director Kamaluddin Ismail said the 3 family members, a 58-year-old Indian national, his 52-year-old wife who is a local, and their son aged 19, were detained in a raid at a hotel in Baling yesterday. Also arrested were 3 policemen aged between 57 and 22, serving at Pangkalan Hulu Police Headquarters and at the Pangkalan Hulu Immigration Complex. They were believed to be agents who smuggle out foreigners to Thailand. A 4-day integrated operation by the department, which began on Monday, also saw more than 50 individuals detained at several hotels and homestays around Baling and Pangkalan Hulu.
Iaitu melibatkan 44 lelaki India, warga India, 1 perempuan warga India, 3 orang tempatan, 1 perempuan, 2 lelaki dan 3 anggota polis. Tangkapan sebanyak 51 orang.
Various seizures were also made, including fake rubber stamps, passports and fake documents, 3 cars and 2 motorcycles, besides cash totaling more than 13,000 ringgit. The department is now hunting for the rest of the syndicate members. The case is being investigated under the Immigration Act as well as the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling Act. In Selangor, police confiscated 43,500 cartons of contraband cigarettes of various brands worth more than 7.1 million ringgit in a raid in Shah Alam last Wednesday. Bukit Aman Internal Security and Public Order Department Director Datuk Sri Akril Sani Abdullah Sani said police also nabbed 5 members of the syndicate believed to be active in the Klang Valley during the operation. 4 lorries, a multi-purpose vehicle, 2 saloon cars as well as a forklift were also seized. 2 of the suspects also had previous criminal records. All the suspects in seizures were handed over to the Customs Department for further investigation under the Customs Act. About 2 million vehicles are expected to use the Plus highways on each peak days during the forthcoming Ideal Fitri season. Plus Malaysia Berhad said this would translate to an increase of 18% compared to 1.7 million vehicles on regular days. Its Chief Executive Officer Zakaria Ahmad Zabidi added, to reduce the risk of fatal accidents, users are advised to avoid using the emergency lanes without the supervision of the traffic police.
Jadi pihak PDRM akan memberi kelulusan apabila mereka tengok the site traffic condition at that point of time. So walaupun we give you the list of where we identify lokasi-lokasi yang di mana akan kami syorkan supaya lorong kecemasan dibuka. Kalau tuan-tuan puan-puan melalui jalan-jalan itu tak semestinya dia digunakan. Pihak PDRM lah akan membuat keputusan terakhir.
Zakaria was speaking at a press conference in Petaling Jaya, Selangor today to announce PLUS preparations in dealing with the expected increase in traffic during the festive period. According to statistics, over than 60% of fatal accidents and deaths on highways involved motorcyclists, out of which over 3/4 involved motorcycles using the emergency lane. In light of this, motorcyclists have been advised to wear bright and reflective clothing that could be easily seen by other highway users. Now let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. An American fantasy drama television series created for HBO, Game of Thrones, has finally ended its 9 years ride. The series, which consists of 8 seasons, has managed to capture the attention of a generation, at the same time create such a strong fan base. Despite the conclusion, many aspects of the show will definitely live on, as there are many ways its legacy will linger with us. And one of it is GOT's goosebump-inducing music. Recently, a Malaysian production agency, Mahakarya Studios Malaysia, covered its phenomenal soundtrack with a twist. Take a look and have a listen. This die-hard fan of GOT brought together traditional Malaysian instrumentalists to perform a mashup cover of Ramin Djawadi's original compositions for the show. Starting off with the House Greyjoy and House Stark theme songs, the local theatrical production house then transited into the Game of Thrones opening credits theme song. The distinctive traditional Malay instruments take the song's medieval vibes to an elevated level, and that's what differentiates it from other covers. The 4 minutes and 52 seconds video has since garnered nearly 20,000 views on YouTube, and they also received fan requests to cover other infamous theme songs, including the Avengers theme and the Skyrim's. And they also received fan requests to cover other infamous theme songs, including the Avengers theme and the Skyrim theme. Kudos for putting a well-deserved spotlight on Malaysian traditional instruments, as well as for your creativity. It is absolutely terrifying to see the insane lengths some people would go to just steal a few valuables. This includes cruelly taking another person's life with no remorse. Recently, a foreigner was brutally slashed in the face by 2 robbers while doing some landscaping work in Shah Alam. Viewer discretion is highly advised, as the pictures contain blood, although pixelated. The Pakistani man was working when 2 men on motorcycles had approached the victim and snatched his phone away. As if that's not enough, the robbers suddenly appeared again to rob the victim's other valuables. Things got worse when the colleagues tried to stop the burglars by grabbing onto one of them. Following that, the thief slashed the victim with an unknown sharp object, leaving a huge hole on his jaw. The culprits then fled the scene along with the victim's possessions. He was immediately rushed to the Tengku Ampuan Rahimah Hospital, Klang, to receive treatment for his severe injury. A police report has been filed, and so far there are no further updates about the ruthless robbers. Let's hope that they will be apprehended soon so the same incident won't repeat. Members of the public have been advised to make the necessary preparations to enjoy digital television broadcasts. The country is expected to fully migrate from analog to digital systems by October. My Freeview chairman Johan Ishak said the public should switch to set-up boxes and antennas which could receive digital signals or transmission.
Itu yang mustahak sekarang ni. So buat sekarang, jangan tunggu sampai bulan Oktober nanti. Buat sekarang sebab bulan Oktober the radio wave yang ada analog tu akan ditutup.
Under the My Freeview, several broadcasters, namely Media Prima, RTM, TV Al Hijrah and Bernama News Channel, offer 15 free-to-air channels, as well as 6 radio stations. Johan, who is also Media Prima chairman, added My Freeview coverage was now up to 98%, where the broadcasts are free with no hidden costs. Consumers only need to pay once to buy the decoder and installation fees if they want the UHF external aerial. The cost of the decoder or UHF external aerial plus installation is expected to be below 200 ringgit. After the break, Narendra Modi storms back to power in India's national election. We'll be right back. We're back with foreign news. British Prime Minister Theresa May announced her resignation in an emotional address on Friday, ending a dramatic 3-year tenure of a near-constant crisis over Brexit. The 62-year-old said she would step down as Conservative Party leader on June 7th.
I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold. The second female Prime Minister, but certainly not the last. I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
May would remain as Prime Minister in a caretaker role until a replacement is elected by the party. The leader of the party automatically becomes Prime Minister. May, who took charge in the aftermath of the 2016 European Union referendum, was forced to make way following a mutiny in her cabinet, as well as Conservative Party, over her ill-fated strategy to take Britain out of the EU. She'll become one of Britain's shortest-serving post-World War II Prime Ministers, remembered for presiding over one of the most chaotic periods in the country's modern political history and for her inability to deliver Brexit. Narendra Modi and his Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) have scored a historic victory in India's national elections. Final results are still outstanding, but Modi's BJP have currently won 297 seats, putting them well beyond the 272 threshold needed to form a government. Modi has been given a second-term mandate that's larger than the one he secured in 2014 when he first became Prime Minister. An energetic BJP campaign, a mix of dog whistles to mobilize the party's hardline Hindu base, as well as economic promises for aspirational Indians, earned Modi the biggest parliamentary majority for any single Indian party in 30 years. The voting lasted almost 6 weeks to accommodate nearly 900 million people who were eligible to cast their votes. Over his last 5 years in office, Modi promised to simplify India's bureaucracy, and the economy has boomed. At the same time, unemployment in the populous country has reached a 40-year high. An outright majority for Modi's party will likely embolden Hindu groups who want to assert their dominance in the country, to the alarm of minority Muslims. Meanwhile, the mood was upbeat at BJP headquarters in New Delhi as party workers were joyfully celebrating and cheering the victory. Earlier, the main opposition candidate Rahul Gandhi conceded the election and congratulated the Premier. As part of Thursday's brutal defeat, Rahul Gandhi lost in his family's hometown constituency of Amethi in Uttar Pradesh.
That a new Prime Minister has been elected.
At least 3 people were killed as of Thursday in the central U.S. state of Missouri following a deadly storm that swept through the region. Some 20 people were treated at nearby hospital while rescuers searched door to door for survivors as the twister has destroyed homes, ripped away walls and sheared roofs. According to the National Weather Service, the tornado was estimated an EF3 on a scale of 0 to 5 with peak winds of 257 km per hour. More than 24 tornadoes were reported overnight in Missouri and neighboring Oklahoma, with thousands were left without electricity. It is reported that the widespread damage was expected to displace some residents for weeks. The Weather Service also predicted strong and severe storms would continue throughout the weekend in Missouri and adjacent Illinois, causing continued river flooding throughout the Missouri and Mississippi River basins. That wraps up 7 Edition this evening. I'm Ras Adiba Radzi. Thanks for watching and till we meet again. Assalamualaikum.